Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Prepared Monday. I'm your host, Veteran Mountain Man. Today's topic is fixed blade, everyday carry type knives. Now, if you've been watching the series for a bit, you'll know that I've done two already about different types of knives. And once we're done with this one, I'm going to go back in detail a little bit more about subcategories in each set, to kind of give you a feel for what you might actually want to go out and buy in the event that you don't already own knives, or if you are a serious knife owner and you haven't ever thought about a particular type of knife, it might give you some insight into why people own those kind of knives. I'll do the best I can. I mean, I don't have all examples, and I might have to go buy a few different types to be able to do them, so it might take a few weeks before I can actually come up with some decent examples. But today is not one of those issues because I have examples, and today is fixed blade knives. So, many of you are going to ask, well, why would anyone ever carry a fixed blade knife? Well, here coming up on the screen are a few examples. And as you can see, at the top of this list is heavy woodworking. Now, if you're doing a lot of woodworking, and I do mean a lot of woodworking, like woodworking every day, all day long, furniture carving, all sorts of different stuff of that nature, a good fixed blade work knife or carving knife is very essential. In fact, you're likely possibly to have 2 or 3 in your everyday work kit or on your tool belt, simply because there are certain things that a good woodworking knife can do that no other tool can do. Now, the next one is regular cutting of rope. Now, I know that sounds really weird, but people who do all sorts of different tie downs or packing or shipping cut a lot of rope a lot of times. Also, people who do cargo loading and sling loading, aircraft loading, people who even sail cut a lot of rope. So regular cutting of rope, you need a good fixed blade knife most of the time. Now, there are some good folding locking knives that do it, but they're not quite as good. Regular processing or cutting up packages. So if you work in a shipping warehouse and you're constantly removing trash or detrashing things, you're probably going to want either a fixed blade box cutter or you're going to want some sort of fixed blade knife that's a little lightweight fixed blade. Heavy plant harvesting. If all you do is pick fruit or pick vegetables or cut mushrooms, you probably want to go to a lightweight fixed blade over a locking knife. The fixed blades have less issues with rollback. You have less issues with cutting your hand. They're easier to work with in gloves, especially for like tobacco harvesting. You want a good fixed blade knife because you don't want to be trying to open and close a knife that might be tarred up. Combat zones are another example. Of course, soldiers prefer fixed blade knives over folding knives. They're faster to deploy, easier to use, faster to learn. Sailors and yachtsmen, especially people working with actual rigging, want a good fixed blade sailing knife. Also, people working in the wilderness, such as lumberjacks, forestry service, wilderness guides, hunting and fishing guides, and anyone doing animal or game processing will want a good fixed blade everyday carry knife. Now, I know these jobs sound kind of extreme to a lot of you, but realistically, there are still people doing all of these things and doing them on a daily basis. And so, in this case, they really do need a hard fixed blade knife. A locking blade simply won't do due to the dangers of rollback, the difficulty of using with gloves, and things of that nature. Now, a little bit later on, I'm going to actually do some image shoots of some of my fixed blade knives, which I do not carry every day anymore, but when I am in the specific scenarios, I do everyday carry. And I will let you see what I'm talking about the different types of knives. But until then, I want to thank you all for joining me. Please remember to upvote and follow me on VidMe or thumbs up and subscribe on BitChute. Also, don't forget you can like and subscribe on my YouTube channel, which is also doing rather well now at this point since I've been remonetized. And of course, you can always come on over to social media or leave a comment down below. Thank you all again for joining me, and have yourselves a great Prepared Monday.